Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Cosmos Atom. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out before watching this one. And yeah, that's going to have a lot more stuff in there that I'm not going to be mentioning in this video so that you have more context. It's always better to have context in these videos. So jumping into the weekly chart. Now, as you can see on the price action, we're doing very nice, very nice uptrend over here. As you can see here, we actually printed some sort of a double top, right? And we could potentially be in a target to the downside. Now, as you can see, we have the 20 EMA up and the 55 EMA up. The 20 is the yellow, the 55 is the red line. And potentially, we could bounce here from the 55 EMA, which is currently sitting at $23.86. That would be a nice area to bounce off of from, because the last time we landed in this zone back in December, we had a nice move to the upside. So that move was around about 106%. So 106% from there would put Cosmos Atom at an all-time high price of around about $50. So that's one possibility. Now, the other possibility is that we come all the way down here and retest this July/August bottom over here. And it would be negative if we lost this bottom. Some cryptos are losing this July/June/May/August bottom. And that's a negative thing because this was a nice accumulation zone. This was a level you bounced off of from. And if you go below than that, you're going to be looking at the next potential support level, which is all the way here. As you can see, you have this swing high over here. That's potentially where you can land, and that's all the way back at $6. So you don't want to, lose this July low over here. Now, looking at the weekly RSI that I have up over here below. So this RSI is printing a divergence, as you can see. So if you take a look at the price action, you have a high, you have a higher high, and you have a high over here, but that's not a higher high, simply another high, which is a double top over here. If you look at the RSI from the same time frame over here, you have a high, then you print a lower high over here, and here you print a lower high as well. So you kind of have two divergences playing out over here. You have the exaggerated bearish divergence, which is where the price action has a double top pattern, but the RSI has a lower high. And overall, you have a bearish divergence, a regular bearish divergence where you have higher highs on the price action and you have lower highs on the RSI. So this is negative. So to invalidate this, obviously, you need to start building momentum, start breaking out of this resistance level over here at $44 and start printing a higher high on the RSI. That would start invalidating the divergence. But for now, with how the markets are looking, I am expecting another move to the downside, especially because we just had the Chinese New Year. And usually a week after the Chinese New Year, we see a dump. So I'm telling all my patrons to have buy orders ready and set to go, because we are potentially going to have another flash crash. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cosmos had a huge wick all the way here to the July bottom and then a quick recovery. So yeah, that would be positive. That would be a great retest of key support levels. But if that happens, obviously, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Just in case, you can have some buy orders if you have some spare fiat. If you have some spare fiat and you want to get into Cosmos at low prices. Now, jumping into the daily chart, we have two Fibonacci retracements. Not going to explain why we have two. Did that in the last video. So jumping into the daily chart, the EMAs are printing a bearish cross over here on the daily chart, which is quite negative. Now let's take a look at the last time we had a bearish cross over here. So this was back in November. Once we had the bearish cross, as you can see, we had more moves to the downside. So potentially, so this was a 39% pullback after you had the bearish cross over here. So let's see. What is a 39% pullback? So this puts Cosmos Atom at around about $18 to $19, which is the golden ratio backtest of support that I was talking about in the last video as well. So 18.8 is your great entry point for Cosmos Atom. Just to be safe, I always recommend having the buy orders above the support zones or the Fibonacci support zones, just so there's more chances of you getting your orders filled, because the people who have the buy orders exactly at the same level sometimes don't get filled and they're forced to buy higher, thus pushing the price even higher, and smart traders place the orders above the support so that the people below don't get filled, right? That's how it works. So potentially, yeah, we're looking for a nice pullback here to the golden ratio. We may potentially come back to this area over here and potentially print a nice double bottom pattern with a nice target to the upside. We'll see how that plays out. But right now, as you can see, you landed on the white trend line, started losing it, you start hitting your head on it. You are potentially going to land on the $24 support, which is the 786 of the smaller Fibonacci retracement. But eventually, I think you're going to get squeezed down to the golden ratio at $19 of that small Fibonacci retracement. Now, if we look a bit lower, you can see we have the large Fibonacci's levels over here on the right side. So we have the 786 of the large level of the large retracement. So that would be $16, right? And we haven't had a back test of that 786 Fibonacci level, right? So that would be a great entry point as well. That's where we can potentially wick down to. And effectively, we'll still be in an uptrend because you printed a low, you printed a high, you have a high over here, a higher high, and then you're going to print this low over here if you're going to come back down. So you're going to be in an uptrend regardless. So yeah, I would just suggest having the buy orders ready and set to go. Now, jumping into the daily RSI. Now, we do have these horizontal resistance lines constantly popping up over here. And once you start breaking through them, you do that with authority, and you have strong moves to the upside after you do so. So here we find ourselves getting rejected from another horizontal resistance on the daily RSI. So potentially you may see a break to the upside here, but you can also see a move to the downside, especially with how the markets have been in the past 24 hours. We're looking to go even lower on Bitcoin. So if you go into the oversold zone here below the index of 30, that would be a great entry point. So we did have this 39.7 support zone on the RSI, which didn't hold. Actually, no, it did hold over here. As you can see, we had a bounce over here, and from there we had a move to that resistance and another move to the downside. So right now it doesn't seem like we need this trend line. I'm gonna get rid of that. And yeah, now let's jump into the 4-hourly chart on the Binance. So jumping into the 4-hourly now, last video I did show you this channel up pattern with a target at $27, and the target was met very, very quickly, I want to say, because we broke down with the markets and we landed on the 0.5 of this Fibonacci retracement. This is a different Fibonacci retracement, keep in mind. We have a swing high over here at $45, which was the September 20th high, and we have the swing low here September 7th. So this gives us the 1.618 target at $80, but we don't want to be looking at the targets to the upside right now. We need to be targeting the downside. So we have the 0.382 here at $25.14. Below that, we have the 0.236 at $22 basically. So that's a great entry point. And on the 4-hourly chart here, pay attention. Tell me what pattern do you see? That's right. It's the double bottom. That's right. And let me just give you a nice target from that pattern. And this is only if we don't start losing the swing, our low basically right now. Because if we start losing that low, we're not going to be in any sort of target. So we're in a target to $32 if we start breaking this swing high over here. Okay, you're going to be in a target to this previous buy zone, which is now our resistance zone. So yeah, if you start breaking through this level, you're in a target to $32.50. But if you start losing, you're invalidating the double bottom pattern basically, right? Because the second bottom should be either slightly above or on the same level as the first low over here. So you have your support levels, and yeah, let me know if I missed out anything on the charts, guys. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. We do have a great Telegram chat. If you need any help or you have any questions regarding anything, jump into the chat, ask away, and you'll get help immediately. We have a Discord server as well with a great technical analysis section in there where you can request quick TAs. You have a news section where you can stay up to date with the latest crypto news of the crypto world. And we do have a Patreon, guys. Feel free to check that out. It's a great way to support me. We recently had a nice chat with the patrons on Discord. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to join the Patreon. We have low cap gem calls in there, buy and sell alerts, technical analysis requests, video requests, sentiment analysis of the market, and a lot more stuff in there. So yeah, links are in the description. Feel free to check those out. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.